You do not know where I come from. You do not know where I am going. But I'll continue. You judge according to the flesh. Everything with you is surface, is appearance, is external. I'm not judging anyone, but even if I do judge, even if I testify about myself, even if I do judge, my testimony is true, my judgment is true. And here's why. Because I am not alone in what I speak. I am not alone in it. But I and the Father who sent me. When I speak, when I testify, when I judge, I am never alone. I am always the mouthpiece. I am always the representative. I am always the officially endorsed ambassador of the Most High. And when my lips move, it's because that's his opinion. And I express his point of view. How about you, though? Even in your law. And it's interesting to see here, lots of people make a big deal of, hey, Jesus said your law, as if he's separating himself from the Torah. Don't you know that Jesus was a Jewish man, the perfect rabbi, the perfect man, the perfect Jew who lived in subjection to the law? Yes, Yeshua followed with complete and utter fidelity every law which applied to a Jewish man living in the land of Israel in the first century. Absolutely. However, Yeshua is not subject to the law, and it is here that he is flexing his identity muscles and demonstrating, I am above the law. I am not on the same plane as you, exalted leaders of Israel. We are not equals. And so, at this point, one of the few times he does this, he puts a little bit of distance between himself and the Torah. In other words, we all have to get into our heads that Yeshua is far more powerful, far more potent, and far more important than the Torah given through Moses. Remember, we follow not Moses, we follow our Messiah. The movement we are immersed in is a messianic movement, not a Moshianic movement. And so he says, your law. Even in your law, it has been written that the testimony of two men is true, which we've just read in Deuteronomy. And he says, here's how I get two. Here's my mathematics. I am he who testifies about myself, and the Father who sent me testifies about me. So we have two in one. The Father who sent me when I speak, I represent his opinion as well. So the Father, his opinion testifies to me, which gives the which gives the Pharisees, the leadership, the opportunity to say, well, since you brought up your father, let's press on that. By the way, Yeshua, where is your father? Because we all know your background story. You are illegitimate, and you don't, this is going to come out next week. I'm going to press that again, big time. So they're trying to lead him down this way. Where's your father? And Yeshua answered, not going to take the bait. You know neither me nor my Father. If you knew me, you would know my Father also. Notice I have highlighted the pronouns, which are odd in the general discussion. When Yeshua is speaking, he's been speaking of the Father in general, God, the Father. But since we're talking about my Father, let me be very explicit. I can say, unlike any of you, I can call God, the creator of heavens and the earth, the Lord of all, I can call him my Father in a way that's very personal and in a way that you have no part. How you like them apples? How you like them matzo balls? And in fact, if you knew me, you would know my Father also. If you recognized me, you would recognize my Father, because we're aligned perfectly. But because you don't know me, we can draw ipso facto the conclusion, you don't know the Father. And of course, the corollary would be true. If you knew the Father, you would recognize me immediately. So there must be something deficient about your faith practices and your understanding.